This week on Maker Update, a can to catch your trash, a new Nano from Arduino, an LED sculpture that records sunlight, and a robot dog that's all wound up. Hey, I'm Donald Bell, and welcome back to another Maker Update, the show where we update you on cool projects makers are making. I hope you're doing well. I found lots of great projects to share, so let's get started with the project of the week. From HTX Studio in China, there's a fantastic video about how they created a swarm of intelligent, motorized trash cans to help keep their office clean. It starts off with a single can with a motorized base. To give it the ability to see incoming trash, a small camera module is added to the lid pointing upward. Using a computer vision machine learning model, they train the bin to detect common types of trash. Because there is some small latency between detection and taking action, the trash needs to be tossed over the bin for the whole system to work. Now, for most of us, we'd say mission accomplished at this point and pat ourselves on the back. But HTX keeps going. They make a few joke versions of the same design, including a talking version that talks trash.
Practice rookie, that's baby stuff.
But more impressively, they designed a charging station where the bins magnetically latch into place. And then to empty the bins, there's this big robo-dumpster that lifts the liner out of each bin using the detachable rim. Then a hot wire clamp moves in to seal and cut the bag, which drops down into the dumpster. Now, how do the bins find their way to the dumpster? Believe it or not, by embedding a grid of addressable LEDs into the office floor, HTX is able to lead the bins around using a trail of light. A second camera on the side of each bin is used to detect the light, and the bin essentially follows it like a line-following robot. It's an impressive and very, very fun video. A short watch too, at just over 4 minutes. You can find a link to it along with all the other projects mentioned here using the links down in the description. Now for some news, there's a new Arduino in town. This is the Arduino Nano R4. It's a bite-sized version of the Arduino Uno R4 Minima with what looks like most of the same specs, plus it adds a quick connect for plugging in modules and sensors. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, but it's fast, capable, and works with all the Arduino code and libraries you're used to. Plus, you can pick one up for just a little over $12. I'll include a DigiKey link for that one if you want to pick it up. More projects! Check out this interactive LED light sculpture by Ralf Baecker. It's called The Collapse of a Microcosm, and it's a series of custom PCBs suspended in the air in 2 concentric rings. Each board includes LEDs and sensors for infrared, UV, and daylight, along with an ESP32 module. Using the ESP32, each panel communicates sensor data back to a main computer running a custom sketch in processing. The software records the sensor data throughout the day and then translates those patterns into a light show. It's beautifully done. In terms of engineering, I really like how Ralf seems to be using the structural wire to deliver power to the boards. We also have to talk about Kara, the robot dog from Aaed Musa. I know this project came out 2 weeks ago, but I'd be doing you all a disservice if you haven't seen it and I didn't mention it. This is Aaed's 4th robot dog, but his first using this technique, a rope-driven system called a capstan drive. We covered Aaed's early experiments with these drives last year in episode 387, but now we're looking at the full realization of what these things can do. The elevator pitch about capstan drives is that by replacing conventional gearing with a specific grade of tensioned rope, you can create a quiet, relatively inexpensive mechanism with practically no backlash. So, silent robot joints that are super accurate, 3D printable, and easier on the budget. But that's just one mechanism. Now take multiples of them, link them together, and move them in concert to create walking, turning, jumping, and balancing. It's an absolutely incredible, mind-blowing project, and I'm super proud to see a robot this sophisticated come from someone in the maker community. With any luck, we'll see a smaller open source version of this robot dog in the not too distant future. Time for some tips and tools. On the Slant 3D channel, there's a useful guide on different ways you can conceal layer lines on your 3D printed parts by building in a 3D texture. Not only does this obscure some of the telltale signs of a 3D printed part, but Most of the time, it just makes for a better looking appearance. Check out the full video for a range of texture examples you can use. And can you believe that it's been over 2 years since we've seen a new episode of one of Tim Hunkin's Secret Life of Components videos? Well, the wait is over. Tim just recently uploaded a new 51-minute video imparting every useful thing to know about gears. If you're new to his series, you're in for a treat. Each episode is an approachable, illuminating, and extremely practical look at an essential component to making things. From glue to bearings, LEDs to motors, they're all essential viewing. For this week's DigiKey Spotlight, check out this written guide and video from Becky on how to use the spiker bit. This is a microbit compatible accessory for making projects that interface with your body. For example, there are sensors you can use for detecting muscle contractions or heart rate, and the spiker bit translates those electrical impulses from the body into input for your projects. You can check it out using the link in the description. And that does it for this week's show. Be sure to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment if you can. Big thanks as always to DigiKey for making this show possible, and thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.